All right, fans of college football, not just OU fans, but any fan of college football, it's that time again. Now, don't go to Vegas and bet on these games. I'm not the best of prognosticating at these games. If you look at my records from last year, but hey, I'll give it a shot. You're watching Boomer Sooner 1982, and coming up next, we'll have Saturday selection picks. Who do I think is going to win and lose on the games that are going to be on your TV? We'll see what happens next. Alright, if you can't tell by the schooner hat that Corso loves to borrow sometimes from our OU memorabilias, I am an OU guy. So we're going to stick with the Big 12 first of all and go with those teams first. Friday night at 8 o'clock on ESPN, 8th ranked Baylor gets back on track and tries to do it at Buffalo on ESPN. I think they'll do it. Buffalo is just, they're good, but they're not Baylor good. Baylor's going to walk all over these guys. The Saturday's selections that start on Saturday start at the 11 o'clock game. Maryland will be at West Virginia on the Big Ten Network. I've been impressed with West Virginia. Clint Trickett and company. I've been impressed. But I think this game might be a little closer than the experts think, just in the fact that in 7 days, I and the rest of a handful of Sooners will invade Morgantown again. I think that kind of opens it up maybe for overlooking Maryland, maybe but I think West Virginia wins. The 2:30 games are interesting. Here are the 2:30 games on ABC, ESPN2, and ESPN3.com. The ABC set, Arkansas at Tech. This one's going to be interesting. Texas Tech, that is. I think Texas Tech can pull this thing out. I think that they might have thought so also, in that they were kind of overlooking them a little bit, overlooking UTEP, so that they could get to this game. So now that they've done the overlooking, they're here. They're going to come out and they're going to show off just how much spread the SEC can't handle. Get it? I think that they're going to play Arkansas well, and I think that they might beat them in Lubbock. The battle for Iowa will be on ESPN at 2:30. Iowa State and Iowa face off on ESPN. I love Mark Mangiano, but they are 0-2. Yuck. They want to get that bitter taste out of their mouth. But I think that Chuck Ferentz, I think he knows what he's doing there. I think he's got this team based, the coach from Iowa. So I think he's going to end up getting this one. And then Kansas and Duke. This would have been a fun basketball matchup. That was the joke at the beginning. The one on ESPN3.com, I'm going to stick with Duke. It's a home game, plus Kansas has just not impressed me at all. So there we go. At 3 o'clock on Fox Sports 1, TCU, the Horned Frogs, will host Minnesota. And I'm going to like TCU in this matchup. At 6 o'clock, in Stillwater, UTSA, Texas of San Antonio, will be at Oklahoma State on Fox Sports Oklahoma. I like Oklahoma State. their transfer quarterback is playing well. He has some little bit of D1 experience from Arizona. I think that you're going to like what he has for you, at least in this one, OSU fans. And then the prime time games at 7 o'clock. There's two of them. UCLA/Texas on Fox from Cowboys Stadium in Arlington. I like UCLA. I hate saying that. And that now Texas is going to be even a game worse going into the game in a few weeks against Oklahoma, to where if OU even beats them, that'll hurt their conference ranking or overall ranking or strength of schedule, whatever you want to call it. But I just don't see how Texas can win this game. Not with a freshman quarterback going up against a top-ranked defense. You know what they did? A top-ranked team. You see what they did against a mediocre team in BYU. Now they're going to play an even better team, UCLA. Ugh. And then finally the big boys. The Schooner training's on rolling at 7 p.m. as they'll walk them in and try to uneven the matchups and win the rubber game with the University of Tennessee, the Vols. And I think it'll happen. All right, let's continue going through the picks, shall we? The rest of the Thursday games on CBS Sports Network at 7 o'clock. You'll see Louisiana Tech and North Texas. I like North Texas. And at 8 o'clock on ESPN on Thursday, you'll see Houston and BYU. I like BYU. And then at 6 o'clock on Friday night, you'll see Tulane and Cincinnati. I like Cincinnati in that one on ESPNU. The Saturday selections. The big day Saturday selections. Here we go. East Carolina at 17th ranked Virginia Tech on ESPN. I'm going to stick with Virginia Tech. Central Florida at Missouri, number 20 Missouri on SEC Network. I'm going to stick with Missouri. ABC ESPN2 regional action. Kent State is going to be at 22nd ranked Ohio State. I think Ohio State bounces back big. I think they know they stubbed their toe last week. They'll be ready this week. Indiana and Bowling Green. Indiana at Bowling Green on ESPNU. I like Indiana. I think Kevin Wilson's doing a great job out there at Indiana. Ohio and Marshall. Ohio will be at Marshall on CBS Network. I like Ohio. Boise State will be at the University of Connecticut on ESPN2. I like Boise. The Battle of Georgia. Georgia Southern will be at Georgia Tech on ESPN3.com. I'm going to stick with Georgia Tech. Pittsburgh will be at FIU, Florida International on Fox Sports 1. I'm going to stay with Pittsburgh. ESPN News is going to have Syracuse at Central Michigan on ESPN News. I'm going to stick with Central Michigan. And the University of Massachusetts will be at Vanderbilt on ESPN3. I'm going to stick with Vanderbilt. The 11:30 a.m. game on the regional action ACC network, I do believe. Number 21, Louisville, will be at Virginia on ESPN3.com. I'm going to stick with Louisville. At 1 o'clock on ESPN, on the Pac-12 network, Wyoming will be at 2nd-ranked Oregon. I'm going to stick with Eugene, Oregon. Also, Air Force will be at Georgia State at 1 p.m. I'm going to stick with Air Force. Hour later, at 2 p.m., ESPN3.com will also bring you Indiana State at Ball State on ESPN3. I'm sticking with Ball State. The 2:30 matchups. Georgia, 6th-ranked Georgia, will be at 24th-ranked South Carolina on CBS. I'm sticking with South Carolina. Arkansas State will be at the Miami of Florida. I'm going to stick with Miami of Florida. And North Carolina State will be at South Florida on CBS Network. I'm going to stick with NC State. The 3 o'clock matchups. On the SEC Network, you can see Louisiana Lafayette play at 14th ranked Ole Miss. I'm sticking with Ole Miss. Another SEC team will be on the road at South Alabama on ESPN News. Mississippi State will be at South Alabama, that is. I'm going to stick with Mississippi State. And finally, Illinois will be at Washington on Fox National. I'm going to stick with Fox. I'm going to stick with Washington. At the 4 p.m. Central Times, Army will be at Stanford on the Pac-12 Network. 15th ranked Stanford, I'm sorry. I'm going to stick with 15th ranked Stanford. And Wyoming will be at Idaho on ESPN3.com. I'm sticking with Idaho. The 5 p.m. matchups are next. Southern Miss will be at 3rd ranked Alabama on ESPN2. Roll the Tide. That's all I got to say on that one. The 6 p.m. matchups. Louisiana Monroe will be at 10th ranked Louisiana State University, LSU, on ESPNU. I'm going to stick with LSU. Western Kentucky will be at Utah State on CBS Network. I'm going to stick with Utah State. And Abilene Christian will be at Troy on ESPN3.com. I'm sticking with Abilene Christian. 6:30 p.m. games. 2 of them. The SEC Network and NBC will have them. Purdue will be at 11th ranked Notre Dame on the NBC Network. I'm going to stick with Notre Dame. And Kentucky will be at Georgia on the SEC Network. I'm going to stick with Florida. 7 p.m.
Sure.
That's okay. With Notre Dame, Kentucky will be at Florida on the SEC Network, and I'm going to go with Florida. The 7 p.m. matchups, USC, 12th ranked in the country, will be at Boston College on ESPN. I'm going to stick with USC. Penn State will be at Rutgers on Big Ten Network. I'm going to stick with Rutgers. Southeastern Louisiana will be at Tulane on ESPN3.com. I'm going to stick with Tulane. Navy will be at North Texas on ESPN News. I'm going to go with Navy. And Portland State will be at Washington State on the Pac-12 Network. I'm going to go with the Leacher, Washington State. 8 p.m., the rest of the 8 p.m. matchups. Rice is at 7th ranked Texas A&M on ESPN2. I'm going to stick with the Aggies. 9 o'clock matchups. 16th ranked Arizona State is at Colorado on ESPNU. I'm going to stick with ASU. 9:30 p.m. Unranked Nebraska is at Fresno State on CBS Network. I think Nebraska kind of got a little scared there late last weekend, kind of overlooking to this one, to where they're going to be ready. And finally, at 10 o'clock tonight, Nevada will be at Arizona on the Pac-12 Network. I'm going to stick with Arizona in this one. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. And as always, follow me on Twitter at SoonerFanOK, or find me on Facebook, Harry James Taylor. Thanks for watching, everyone, and enjoy your College Football Saturday. Peace out.